Hello. I see that my ideas are not very easy to understand. Therefore I decided to create a separate list of videos, in which I will try to explain them through analogies. Today there will be a short video, in which I will try to explain why it can happen that reduced Planck's constant actually describes not a quantum of action, but a quantum of matter or energy, which are different names of the same entity. Imagine that you have a zoo and there is a monkey house in it. Imagine that every monkey needs the same amount of food. Imagine that to buy and account food for monkeys you created a special quantity. Feeding. Feeding is the amount of food needed to feed one monkey during one day. So if you have 12 monkey days of feeding, it means that you can feed 12 monkeys during one day. Or 6 monkeys during 2 days. Or 4 monkeys during 3 days. Or 3 monkeys during 4 days. And so on. The units of this quantity are monkey days. As you can see, it is connected with monkeys and time. Imagine that somehow you found out that this quantity is discrete for some unknown reason. You found out that your monkey days quantity can change only by a discrete amount, 1/10 of a monkey day. Imagine that you write a paper about it and publish in scientific journal. After some time all the world knows that monkey days are discrete. And believe that it is proven and will never change as science is always right. And if anybody says anything else, he is a dangerous anti-science guy that should be ignored or banned. Okay. But there is an issue. There is a reason why the feeding quantity is discrete. It is discrete because monkeys eat bananas. And one monkey needs 10 bananas per day. And the fact that you and everybody else believe that feeding is discrete and has units of monkey days cannot cancel the banana's existence. There's no quantum of feeding. There is only quantum of food, banana. In physics we have a very common situation. There is a specific quantity in physics, action. It has units of joules seconds and is known to be discrete. In one of my previous videos I assumed that quantum of action is not a real physical quantity, that quantum of matter or energy is real instead. Link to that video is in the upper right corner now. Per my assumption the real reduced Planck's constant is not 1.054571817 times 10 to the power of minus 34 joules seconds, but 1.054571817 times 10 to the power of minus 34 joules. And it describes a quantum of matter or energy. The quantum of matter or energy is the one who makes the actions, therefore there can be no less actions than one action per second. And that is why action is discrete too. This idea is not very complex for me as a layman, but seems to be too radical for any physicist. A person with a degree that I tried to discuss this idea with, answered that I cannot redefine the units of the Planck's constant on my own will and that's it. And if I try to do that, it means that I don't understand anything in physics. The "shut up and calculate" tagline of the person was very telling. I'm describing it to you not to complain, but to show what happens inside of some humans' heads. And to explain you why it's wrong. I believe that I have a right to try to replace joules seconds with joules on my own will. I have a right to do that as a human. Not as a physicist. A human assumed once that action is discrete. A human checked it in experiment. A human wrote that to textbooks. Those textbooks are the place where every other human including the person with a degree got his knowledge from. And only another human can try to assume something different. A human redefined space and time and joined them into spacetime. It was Albert Einstein. Humans redefine physical units the way they feel is better. As a result 1 meter for example is now defined through 1 second and through speed of light. That's actually what humans do during their life, they try different things. I'm a human, therefore I do try different things. I'm not a silent calculator that has to shut up and calculate. I believe that I and any other human deserve more. We are the creators of calculators, not the calculators. You will never know how much different stupid things I've tried on my way. You will never know, at least because I don't remember the majority of them anymore. They did not pass the internal filter of logic that was somehow built inside of me during my life. But this time all my internal logic tests are passed. It seems to me that I've got to something, and it might be really important. I did not just make an assumption that a quantum of action is actually a quantum of matter out of nothing. It was a long sequence of guesses from absolutely different idea. Quite a long way of guesses and internal logic checks that I had to do, and that I might try to describe someday if anybody would like to hear my story. And again, I do believe that the real difference between us and other apes is that sometimes we get a wish to try something different. And nothing can stop us at this moment. No degrees, no principles, no authority. Yes, it can look strange. But strange does not necessarily mean wrong. I had a video on that. Imagine how cool it could be if I'm right. A perfect story. Story not about me, but about humanity, which prefers to ignore the obvious, ignore the banana for almost 100 years. Just make a simple assumption, just calculate most obvious predictions that follow directly from that assumption and see the connection. See the possible truth. Thank you for your attention.